Okay, we're in part 3 here of the question Rollo Pollo asked. So Reggie Prograis, it took him 5 years before he could get a championship fight. Okay, which is pretty quick. And he didn't have an extensive. He doesn't have an extensive amateur career. Okay, he just had two major amateur fights, which was the 2011 United States Amateur Championship semifinals in Colorado Springs, where he was a semifinalist, and then 2012 United States Olympic boxing trials. But importantly, like I said before, is his trainer, Highland Williams Sr. That's a very important part to remember. And when we look at his pro career, which we're coming to now, pulling it up, he's had 24 fights so far. Okay? And this is very important to understand how they moved him along. Again, the matchmaking, very important. So he had a bunch of 4-rounders, as you can see there, 5 of them. He had a 6-rounder, and then he went back to 4-rounder, then a 6-rounder, 6-rounder, 4-rounder, 6-rounder, 6-rounder, one 8-rounder, another 6-rounder. I can't scroll forward a little too far. Another 8-rounder, okay. And then he finally had his first 10-rounder. Okay, a couple other 10-rounders. Didn't go 10, but then he had his 12-rounder. That was against Julius Indongo, and he dusted Julius Indongo as if he was a joke. Sorry about that. Carry it back. He dusted him as if he was a joke, and so they moved him along. He faced Juan Jose Velasco. This is mostly based on skills. And then Terry Flanagan is a good fighter. He faced him, and he went 12 rounds with him for a unanimous decision win over Terry Flanagan. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see it? I think you can see it now. That's Terry Flanagan right there. And then he had a fight with Kurl Redlich. That's where he won the WBA championship from. It was from Kurl Redlich. And now he's going to unify with Josh Taylor. So he's moving along pretty fast. But he only, in 2019, this year, fought for a world championship. The WBC Council Diamond Super Lightweight belt is not a world championship belt. The WBA World Super Lightweight title was a world championship belt. So he began his career, I think, in 2012, only in 2019, which is 7 years. 7 years. So it took him 7 years, just like Deontay Wilder. It took him 7 years before he got a championship attempt. Okay? So that's how it goes. All right? And that's because you have to move them along slowly if you don't have a lot of amateur experience. Errol Spence is a little bit different in that he had some more amateur experience, so it took him 5 years before he got his championship title. Okay, Floyd, it took 2 years because he was a bronze medalist in the Olympics. Errol Spence wasn't a bronze medalist for anything; he was just an Olympian. All right. So based on that, you can understand then how these guys are moving along. You think it's fast, but it's not really that fast. Okay. Because it's dependent on the fighter gaining experience. Sometimes the fighter has 2, 3, 4, 5 attempts. Just because they began late in life doesn't necessarily mean that they don't have the talent or the God gifting, in addition to the skills that they're honing, to become world champion. And of course, when they become world champion, it's their attitude that keeps them world champion. So these guys, they got a hungry attitude. They stay hungry, and because of that, they really reach very far. So Rollo Pollo Bear, I hope this sort of answers your question. The people who you can talk to who can give you more information on this are Eric Bradley, the fight doctor in Master Boxing. Check out that channel, ask him that question. As well as you can also look up some of the matchmakers that make matchmaking for fights and ask them questions about how they're able to move a fighter along from a debutant to prospect to a contender to a world champion. And they can explain to you how they matchmake fights. Okay? So that's it, basically. If the matchmakers, see, it's always in the matchmaker's hands who the opponent is, because the boxer will always ask for the very best, and they'll always feel they're in a position to fight the very best. Okay? So it's really up to the matchmakers. It's really up to the trainers who know the game quite well and know the beginning to the end to be able to know where this person's at right now, skill-wise and talent-wise and refinement-wise, and if they can handle certain things, right? All right, guys. I hope that was very educational to you. Remember, you can always go to people who are actually qualified in those areas and ask them questions. You guys have a good one. Oh, you guys can also interview Mark Breland and all the trainers of these different fighters, and they'll give you a better insight into things that a lot of us don't really know, okay, as fight fans. All right, guys, have a good one.